Hello and welcome to Below the Hospital. I'm your host, Garland-Rhea Grisby Sr, Sterile Processing Manager at Sutter Health, CPMC. In this podcast, I ask what some might call hard questions, but what I think are informative questions about the sterile processing profession. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with someone who we will say has his boots on the ground, a frontline staff who has been around the sterile processing field for some 43 years. Yes, that's right. 43 years. We have with us today on the show, Scott Eddy.
Good morning. Thank you.
So let's just start with an easy one, right? How did you end up in the sterile processing field, and how did you end up where you are today?
Well, that's a great question. I started in sterile processing, in the department in 1982, fresh out of high school. I was trimming Christmas trees at the time, and my mom worked with a lady that a medical center here in Fresno, and decided to apply for a supply technician there, and I got the job picking supplies and things like that. And then I took the ISHM certification course, became certified, worked my way up to be a sterile processing instrument technician there. I had the opportunity to move over here after 12 years there, and I love it here.
Oh, the days of the multiple shifts.
Yeah. There was a time I was working full time at the other facility and part time here, and multitasking. So.
The way I see it, right? Working the other shifts, working all of the shifts, you become well-rounded and you can understand the issues that the different shifts face, the different challenges and things like that. So even though it's a struggle doing all of those shifts, because I remember doing them myself. I remember doing doubles and triples,
Yeah. I was working 40 hours overtime pretty much when I first started here, because the hospital hadn't opened yet, so I was on the opening day crew here. So, wow. But it was a great experience.
Wow. So, if you could, what would you have told yourself on day one of your career in sterile processing? And I say career because that's what it is.
Yeah. If I could have told myself, I would just, I would just tell her there's going to be times when people are not going to agree with you, don't like you for speaking up. But always just go and do what's best for the patient and what's best for the team. And, you'll have continued success.
So that's an excellent point. Because when you think about being new in the department, sometimes you don't feel safe or comfortable speaking up. Sometimes the employees, that are already there, they're wondering who you are and who do you think you are.
Right.
So that's a good point. So listeners, if any of you are new, it's okay to speak up. It's okay to speak up because, again, we're here for the patient. And as was mentioned, do what's best for the patient and for the team.
Correct.
So, Scott, now this is an Amy podcast. So I want to ask you, what is your interaction with standards like on a day-to-day basis?
Well, in our department, we're a high functioning department. We follow all of the AAMI guidelines to a T. Follow the IFU manufacturer stuff. And for me, standards are like a decision we make. Working in sterile processing, we all have that decision we make. Do we take shortcuts? Do we follow the standards? Do we follow the IFUs? And I think that's a big part of the day-to-day functions. You make that choice to follow the high standards, to keep up with the constant changes, and adhere to safety and quality improvements. Keep up with the changes, and and expect high standards.
Thank you. And that also is a good point, because when you take into consideration, sometimes it's difficult to follow the IFUs, right? Because they vary so much, right? Mm-hmm. On one of the other episodes, we talked about how the IFUs may differ, and these same instruments may be in one container. But when we follow the standards give you the overall guidance on how you should do certain things. So
Right.
very important. Any advice to SPD staff on how to work with other teams and departments in a given health facility?
I would say to people that have been in this process for a long time, new people, be part of the team. Be part of the team. Stay engaged. Volunteer on stuff. All facilities have the need for volunteering on different committees. Get to know administrative staff. See what you can do. Be part of the team. If you're part of the team, you're going to want to increase your education. Find out if there's a procedure and you don't know what it is or what about. Google it. Find out what it is and increase your knowledge and be part of the team.
Yeah, I learned that early on, right? Even now, right? Being on a bunch of AME committees, you have to be the change you want, right? If you're not part of the team, then the decision is going to be made for you and not with you.
Mm-hmm.
So that excellent advice.
Yeah.
Now, is there anything that you wish hospital or facility leadership knew about your job and about sterile processing more generally?
I think, across the board in all the years I've been doing this, it's one of the things I think garners the most respect out of sterile processing technicians is, we make a product that's governed by the FDA and AME guidelines and all that. And, we put our initials on everything we do. I think if administration would get to know those people, even on a personal level, come to the sterile processing department, meet the staff, get to know them, know the initials that are on those packages saying that this product is sterile and okay to use. I think that does wonders for staff and team spirit and stuff like that. Is get to know the people in sterile processing, and you'll find out what they do.
That is awesome and very important. Very, very, very important. I actually love the senior leadership in the organization that I'm with now, right? The peri-op director is always down in SPD, just saying hi. Just saying hi and meeting the people. They know the names of the people. They're not there just when it's survey time or, things like that, or when there's an issue. The executive director came down and spoke to the staff, trying to get to know the staff. The COO came down and talked to the staff and, wanted to get to know the staff. So it is very important. So that's great.
We are very fortunate here. We have a very good rapport with the operating room and their staff. And, my heart really goes out to all those facilities who don't have that closeness with the operating room, the staff, the administration, and then, like I said, make the change, be part of the team and get that to happen, because it'll open up wonderful doors for you and for them.
Yeah, and that partnership with the OR is very important, right? It's not a them against us, or it's truly a partnership. It's hand in hand. We need them, they need us.
Yep.
And so we have to have a relationship. And if we don't, it's important that we try to build one somehow. Even if it's talking to one nurse at my facility, even if it's one tray at a time. So what's the most important technological change that you've seen during your career? And I say the most important because I've been in it for about 23 years and I've seen tons of changes. You got me double time. So
that's right. I think for me, what I've seen is the most technological breakthroughs that's really kind of been important is really the IT communication part of sterile processing. We use IT all the time to communicate, just like we're doing now. We have great things set up with Microsoft Teams and things like that to communicate. It's great for posting stuff. knowledge is power. And, if you want to know, you log on and you can get the information. We have Google. If you're not sure what an instrument is or what a kind of procedure is, you can Google that and find out. And that's to me, that's the best and most important tool that we have at our disposal, is the ability to get information, get knowledge, and communicate that back and forth with our peers.
Yeah, that's excellent. I remember you had to wait, snail mail, so to speak, right? If you needed some information from a guidance document, if you didn't have it, it was very difficult because you had the hard copies. So there was no soft copies. You couldn't send, and section 5.3.3 says this, in an email. You had to wait. And there was no, you couldn't take a picture and send it either. So yes, technology is great, especially in our field. We need it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So any thoughts on how the field is changing today and what changes might occur in the future?
Well, I think one of the continuing changes that continue to evolve is just creative ways to reduce waste in sterile processing in the OR. I think there's a big shift and move to increase the amount of single patient use instruments and items as they lower the cost and it becomes more affordable to use a disposable item versus a reusable item. I think we'll see that more coming. And then the continuing push on new laser and robotics, different types of procedures, with the on-demand computer displays and AI as it comes into the OR with robotics and stuff like that. I think we'll see a lot more of that coming down the road.
Yeah, some things we thought we'd never see, right? We thought that robotics was just on movies, and now it's here, right? In full effect. Well, Scott, we kept this one short and sweet. We know you got to get back at it. Want to thank you for taking the time with us to talk to you on the show.
Thank you.
And I just want to thank you for the work that you do and the work that you've done for many, many decades, in taking care of our patients. And I say our patients because we never know. A patient that you had dealings with may be a patient that we had dealings with. So thank you for everything that you do, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Garland.
So as usual, folks, I hope this episode has been useful. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another episode. If you want to support the podcast, you can find us at Below the Hospital on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and Amy Array. Until then, see you when I see you.